we park the vehicle, that's where you have to be this afternoon by 3:45. 3:45, okay? So that we can get back and face the wrath of the woman behind the counter when she says, "You people did not sign up for your dinners." Did we? Did everybody do their dinners this morning?
Yes.
Yeah, I think so.
There were a few that didn't. James, you're getting the pork. I put you down for it. I saw the V and I thought, victorious, that must be what he has. So. All right? You and my wife, you're getting that stuff. Karen is not with us. She is, when I left her, she was sitting in bed eating a bacon sandwich that I made for her. Delivered it in the usual fashion. I don't look at her. I put it down and I back away with any eye contact. End of story. We do that every morning. Well, I don't do the breakfast, but I do the coffee that way. Put it down and back away. I put it in a
Do you
thermos.
do that thing where you go down on one knee?
Well, no, not one knee, but I'm just not. Don't look at her. Yeah, I mean, Jim says I would never get back up again. Well, it used to be that I would wake up in the morning and roll over and say, "Hi, hon," and she would say, and I'll leave out one of the words, but she would say, "Get up and get my coffee." So for the last several years, no matter what condition I'm in, if I'm fine or if I'm not fine,
We get it.
I make the coffee before I go to bed. Jackie will attest to that. And I put it in, and at 10 minutes to 7, it goes off. I get downstairs, I come down, it's brewing. I take one of those thermos things. I put really hot water in the thermos to heat up the thermos. I have to get out the bone china mug. She will not have anything but a bone china mug. Put a little half and half in the mug. Pour myself a cup of coffee. Pour the rest in the carafe, nice and hot. Take it up, put it on her nightstand, back up without looking at her. And then when she's ready for her coffee, she can take it out of the nice, thermos. If it's hot, she can pour it in there. So this morning when I gave her coffee out of the Nescafe or whatever it was, and I didn't hand it to her, I put it down, and she said, "Make it quicker tomorrow." Yes, life is far different when Mr. Johnson is staying in our house. I suddenly find that we have Royal Dalton China, Edinburgh Crystal, many, many courses for the meal.
Yes, the cookbooks
Yes.
and all boy.
Yeah, she's out there making food all day. I'm actually allowed into the dining room. Can't sit at the head of the table.
King James.
It is. King James shows up and all the doors open. Yeah. Anyway, you're gonna love this little town. As Brian said, this is where Harry met Sally. Right? This is where Kate snagged him, and they met in a coffee shop, as Brian says. And I think you'll see the sign that says this is where they met. So do all that stuff. You can walk. You actually can wander into the university, take pictures of the buildings and whatnot. Spectacular place. Tons and tons of history. Remember yesterday when we were our broth, they showed the Archbishop and talked about Archbishop Beaton, who watched the man burn to death. Then he got killed a few weeks later. This is where it all happened. There is a place in the castle. It's called the Tunnel. It's not for the faint of heart or for those that can't bend over. Go through the tunnel, take you from one place to the other. Not the way it was supposed to when they first, but they were digging towards each other. They were both going enemy to enemy, and they were off a few feet because they had hired an Irish guy, and he was cheap. They got him cheap, so calculations were wrong. If you're a gin drinker, they make some gin out here, which is really good. And beer for our New Hampshire Loon Mountain people. There's plenty of pints. Woo! And so 3:45, we'll pick you up in the same place that Brian drops us, all right? And have a good time wandering about. Jackie will be wandering with an umbrella in the air. Closed umbrella tag.
Yes, obviously.
Hey.
We came back from St. Andrews a few years ago. I was with some friends that we did this tour, and driving down the road, and I saw, and somebody said, "Oh, there's a mini mart up there. Can we stop?" Well, I knew it wasn't a mini mart as we think of it. You know, it's not a 7-Eleven type thing. They actually sold minis, the original minis. They were all lined up. It was phenomenal. As soon as we got there, the man came out and said, "I don't sell to Americans."
Serious?
Seriously, because they have to change the windshield, the lighting, and
I don't want a mini anyway.
he must have had 30 of them there.
You don't want a mini anyway.
This is the old minis, not the new ones.
Hey, just want to let you know there are some Irish people on this bus.
I know there's some Irish people. They forget their
Hey, you were-
they
you
forget
were-
their passes. What did I say last night? I knew the Irish guy would screw up.
Whoa! See, he stepped in it. Yeah, you gotta watch out.
Hey, you gave James a hard time.
Yeah, well. Yeah. I don't know. I never give him a hard time. He's still stronger than me. Give him 30 years, he'll be as weak as me. And I'll be dead. Yeah, the Irish. What would we do without them? Actually, the Irish invented the outhouse. They were the first in Europe to have the outhouse. And about 300 years later, the Scots developed a hole in the middle.
That's a good one. I remember that one.
The Irish invented the bodhrán. You know the bodhrán, the drum they play with?
Oh, that's what it's called.
Yeah, the bodhrán, and they invented that. And often in Ireland, it's usually covered with goat skin, sometimes sheepskin, but in Ireland they cover it with the skin of an Englishman because they love to be the English. Some monk chanted.
I like that.
Hey, will you give the mic back to James?
Yeah.
But no death yet.
Yeah.
No.
Oh no, we won't tell them that at all. About 11 o'clock, there's a vintage bookstore that opens to the general public.
Oh, nice.
And it's a terrific place, but it doesn't open to the public till 11 o'clock. James and I are going there first.
I am too.
We were there last year, and there's a book you all must read. It's called Tales of Parahandy. Parahandy it's all about a captain of a small puffer steamboat that went up and down the west coast of Scotland, plying their trade and getting into hijinks. And Charlie read it, and he said it takes about 3 chapters to get in, so you finally understand the language and the way the expressions and whatnot. Very, very funny book. You laugh out loud. I read it several times because you bring it out and I laugh, and Karen says, "Put that book away." But we were in this bookstore last year, and I saw it a hardback copy of Parahandy. And as I reached up to get it, it was rather high, this hand whipped around, grabbed it, and then he says, "Look what I have." Bastard.
What a handicap
Hey.
built. I'll beat you in there.
Yeah. I thought for sure he would say, "I'm buying this for you." Not a chance.
Hey, I hope it was an Irishman.
It was him. It was him. He with the long hair.
Oh.
The RAF. Do they still have the base here? Luker's Air Base is right next door to the city, and they used to have the RAF fighter jets take off, which is incredible. When you're up in some of the highlands, the fighter jets train by going through the mountain glens and whatnot, just a few hundred feet off the ground, and they chase each other. It's like Star Wars. You don't see them or hear them coming. All of a sudden, they're right on top of you. So it used to be you'd see a lot of them coming out, but Brian says they're down scaled quite a bit. They might be bringing it back up with North Korea.
Oh, look at there's a home up here.
Good shot.
I feel it.
What's that? Way on that side.
The only thing I don't like is they do these pictures of Jamie. It's this thing sideways.
That's just the way they film me all over again. Yeah, actually, there's a comedy skit at the end of the year every year. They target that. They make fun of it.
I wonder what that is.
Looking through castle windows and doing all that slowly.
The girl comes on and she's right.
What they're growing, you mean?
No, that building there, that
Oh.
broken down structure.
Oh.
Looks like probably an old.
It's probably an old house.
They were smart. 3 months they ended up building another building out.
Yeah, maybe it's been that long.
Yeah.
Could be around.
Did you happen to get that welcome to Fife?
Going, and it looks like the whole United States is a fighter. They were
So,
how many miles they were.
but they're like, well, no.
But they take the motorhome and they go to a base.
Fine. I really didn't feel that group at all then.
Out from that, come back, once they went back. But that's what he was doing, was looking at equipment and water trucks and things for his gravel pit. So, and I've been thinking about, I've been on the GSA auction site lately, but there hasn't been much come out of there on the government side.
Especially when you're coming across country, and I tell my kids that he's going to this rest stop, and my kids are going to make some love. This young guy with a truck out of
That's my girl. And I went and shopped that one just for the new personality. It's an 07. I shopped for an 07. And I got that out of Vancouver, BC. That's, but between that and the side dump, it's worth about $160. But I got a pretty good deal on it. That's an 18-speed with a 550 cat, and it's a Canadian spec, but it's built to U.S. standards, so it's legal. Emissions, everything. It's legal in the U.S. It's got a wide set rear end. And most rear ends on the drive side, you drive to the frame, it's only about that wide. Mine's about that wide. So I got a lot more stability. They measure me width-wise, and they don't normally do that. They always measure the length of weight. Yeah, I'm just inside the width. People look at me. There's something different about your truck. And it's that wide set rear end. But I tell you what, it's the most stable thing out there. Of course, it's heavy spec, 43 rears, or 46 rears, and 14 floor front, and 550 cat, and a big C15, and 18 speed, and all that. Yeah, I really.
The Reformation. As Billy was telling you there about these tunnels that are dug underneath the castle, that was all because of this war between the Protestants and the Catholics. You had a lot of Protestants holed up inside the castle after they had brutally dispatched Bishop David Seaton, the man whose picture was on the wall in the Abbey yesterday. Well, these Protestants, they got their hands on him and they dispatched him. Then they hung his naked dead body off the castle walls for everyone to see.
Welcome back, Jamesy.
Then they hauled themselves up inside the castle. There wouldn't have been much to see because he was Scottish. And it was cold. It's always cold on the East Coast. So there wouldn't have been much to see.
I was waiting to hear he was Irish.
Well, anyway, after they done in, as we like to say, done in the bishop, they hauled themselves up there. And it was up to the Catholics to get them out, but it's a tough castle to get yourselves into, so they took to mining underneath it. And when you go and visit the castle today, you can go down in those mines, they're open. You have to kind of crouch yourself down at certain points of it, but you can walk right down underneath, and like Billy was saying, you can get to the point where the Protestants mined underneath the castle to try and meet the Catholics who were mining to meet them. It's quite something. So you can spend a good bit of time in that castle, and as I say, it's got all the storyboards that'll fill you in on all the things that happened, all the grisly things that happened. And of course, we've got the ruins of the cathedral. Also home to the university here. And this is the third oldest university in the English speaking world. Gives you a little idea of how old this university is. The only ones that beat it are Oxford and Cambridge down in England. First started working this university in 1410. Get your heads round that. 1410 they start building a university here. It's the home of golf. All your celebs come here. You need to book way in advance if you're going to play the old course. It's going to cost you a ridiculous amount of money to get on there as well. And Brian was just telling me there when we were trundling along that it's not until recent times that they actually let women in the clubhouse here on the old course. This was a men only course. And certainly the clubhouse was men only. Maybe women would go on the course for a wee wander in there. Maybe a wee bit of putting, but they certainly weren't allowed inside the clubhouse. A lot of the British Opens are played on that course. And of course then guys, you got a lovely afternoon of just wandering the little streets of St Andrews as well. All these streets that we're going to wander about, they're still built on the old medieval town. Basically the same plans as the old medieval town. There we've got the old clubhouse, but all this on our left, the old course hotel. This is all new building, obviously just to deal with all the tourism that comes in here and all the people that want to play the course. Great revenue for this town. When you're in at the cathedral, guys, there's a beautiful photo opportunity if you fancy climbing St Rule's Tower. It's a fair height, a lot of steps involved, but the photograph from up top of the cathedral grounds below you and then the old town of St Andrews, it's a stoater of a photograph. Just when you're up there.